On this Friday, tense times in the NFL right now. We found out today that the league has moved 3 games due to so many COVID cases. The Raiders-Browns game moves to Monday at 5 in the evening, and then 2 games got moved to Tuesday at 7 p.m. The Seahawks at the Rams and Washington versus Philly.
The Bills, of course, are watching it all closely, with left tackle Dion Dawkins put on the COVID list today. Since he's fully vaccinated, he could still play if he gets 2 negative tests before kickoff. Meanwhile, good news about Bills quarterback Josh Allen, who got in a full day's worth of practice today and is scheduled to start as the team hosts the Panthers Sunday.
Plenty to talk about with our pal Vic Carucci, who joins us live right now. He is our Bills insider and also a host on Sirius XM Radio. Vic, it is always good to see you. We appreciate you coming back. And let's start here with Josh Allen. Carolina's not a great team right now, but you can't take anything for granted this late in the season. You want Josh Allen on the field to make sure the Bills get the win.
Yeah, that to me is the loudest statement that Josh Allen playing in this game makes, that the Bills don't want to leave anything to chance. And listen, I know first and foremost this has to be a medical decision. I don't think you necessarily make this on the basis of football, but he was limited in 2 practices this week. He was a full go today. You got to note that, and also note the fact that the Bills desperately need to win. If they can all 4 of these remaining games, great, at least 3 of them, because you're still talking about a team that wants a shot at the division title and, of course, to get into the playoffs. And I think it's going to take at least 3 more wins to do that.
And Vic, we mentioned Dion Dawkins. How big of a concern is his positive COVID-19 test in terms of its impact on the offensive line and the team in general? And then on a grander scale here for the entire league, as the NFL has started moving a few games because of COVID outbreaks within teams.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Kate. You just led this off by talking about the games that are being moved. And the NFL, remember how steadfast the NFL was. We're not moving any games this year. If you've got guys on COVID, we're going to play without them. Well, all it took was a team like Cleveland and a couple others to have major outbreaks in this critical stretch run for playoff positioning, and now games are being moved once again. That said, that is something you got to think about relative to the Bills and every team in the league. As far as the offensive line is concerned, if Dion Dawkins isn't playing, I think Spencer Brown, the rookie tackle, who has had his good moments this year, steps in at left tackle, and probably they would take, make a couple other moves within the line, Darrell Williams being one, put him over on the right side, and hope for the best. It's not the ideal O-line setup.
Vic, you talk about what the Bills need to do to make sure that they get into the playoffs. And as we look to this Sunday's game, you also kind of look back a little bit to what happened against the Buccaneers. We heard a lot of the players talking this week about the second half of that game and the resiliency that kind of came out of this team. Is that reason maybe for us to take some optimism about how this is going to go down the stretch? Is that how you see that game, or do you just see it as what an awful first half versus coming out and playing the second?
I'm a little bit of a skeptic, Michael, still with what did we see in the way of the real Bills? Was that the real Bills in the second half and not the real Bills in the first half? Because that first half edition, we've seen that before, especially with the struggles on offense. So I do think it's a good thing for the team to rally around that point and say, look at what we can do. And when they watched it on tape, see, this is how we can kind of rally and get ourselves together and get momentum for these final 4 games. That's fine, but you got to go out and do it. They've been an inconsistent football team, and you've got to prove otherwise.
Finally, Vic, we've only got about 30 seconds left. When you talk about the AFC playoff picture right now, you mentioned it. You think the Bills need to at least win 3. You'd like to win 4. We've got this big game that we'll be watching with the Patriots and the Colts coming up too.
Yeah, and that's the one to really focus on. I guess Bills fans are glad that wasn't moved, because it'll give you something tomorrow night to really dial in and see. The Colts will be a formidable team playing there in their own stadium, and I think it's going to be a real challenge for the Patriots to win. But if the Patriots do win it, again, the pressure just ramps up on the Bills through these final 4 games.
Always a pleasure for our Fridays. We've been chatting, as always, with Vic Carucci. Vic, thanks again.
My pleasure.
Always good to see you, Vic. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We hope you have a great weekend. We'll leave you with our text 2 line, 716-849-2220.
Get in touch. Channel 2 News at 6 with Scott and Mary Alice is next.